So that's the situation that people are dealing with on a regular daily basis. So, hey, you get into something, it's more than likely not going to be as easy to get out in most cases. Well, I would say probably 50-50. You can.
But here's my perception, and this is the thing about dating. This seems so easy to do because we like learn how to become serial daters, where we just kind of meet somebody and hang out for a little while, and wonderful if it works. But there's no expectations really so early on whether or not it's going to be long term, unless you take that time to really cultivate that kind of journey for yourselves.
Well,
if you're doing that in the beginning, you already have a game plan started, right?
Well, but
if you start midway, it's like it could go either way.
Well, the thing is, these days, it's difficult to want to do that right away because you want to kind of sit around and get to know a person. You don't want to really commit into much.
Right.
Because you don't want to be committed into something that you just don't like.
Right.
So it's kind of easier to be a friend with benefit or something along the casually courting per se, as opposed
for men and women. Because I don't know so much that that's the same for women.
Depending
women
on the age
are
of the woman.
so. What do you mean the age? How is that any different than
women,
a girl or a woman?
Younger women, say between 20 and 25, may have the same mentality of what I'm talking about. Women who are older than 25 want more of the settling down situation. So they want to build towards something else. But those women who are 20 to 25 are more apt to dating and be fine with dating for a while as opposed to just tying up for the long term.
Okay, you may have a point there. And I do think that it is cultural because some people still at 20, 25 date with a purpose. They date knowing that, this is the person they're going to begin to build a relationship with, a life with, and a marriage, And
No, I think I don't know if it's cultural as opposed to how you're founded, as opposed to, true that, but as opposed to your foundation of teaching. Because if your grandmother if your grandmother, was born in 1930, she had a big hand in raising you, then you will be raised to think a certain way.
Right.
As opposed to if your grandmother was raised in 1975, she's totally different. Totally different. Right. Totally different.
I don't want to be no grandma.
What is that? All that stuff it's going to totally change
grandma.
What was imparted in you as a young person.
Wow, that's
totally
a good
change
point.
that.
That's a good point.
And that is not cultural. That is.
And that kind of speaks to how some of that generational information that maybe should have been transferred to our people who are in that dating stage of life.
But again,
that there were certain foundations, certain principles, certain expectations that.
Again, the person who was taught a certain thing teaches a certain thing. If they were not taught, then you're just in a cycle of the same dysfunction.
Wow.
Per se. Wow. So how's a person who has no idea how that works going to teach you how it works? If I don't know how to drive a car, I'm going to teach you how to drive a car.
So that means that we have probably a whole generation of people that just, the hit it and quit it is just the norm. That's just the way it is.
Well, look at the videos. That's what it is.
It is. It's just the norm. It's like there's no expectation. There was no real benefit in relation other than...
It's the normal of today.
Right. Whoa.
The normal of today.
That's
not the normal of 1950.
Isn't that scary, though? I mean, because think about it. I mean, my kids, I was like,
everybody doesn't have
how do you find a wife or a husband for your child if this is the mentality of the culture?
But you can easily be abnormal. You don't have to do the normal thing. Normally, people wear T-shirts all the time, young people. But you don't have to wear a T-shirt all the time. You can do you. You still have the option of doing you.
But if you don't understand you, what is you?
No,
I mean, like you said, what is the you that we're talking about has not been given those tools, that insight
if all
to
your
build
friends are
a
getting
family.
Busy and you don't feel like getting busy like that, then you can do you and not do it. It's that simple. There are examples of people who are not doing what everybody else is doing.
I agree.
So if you're not fully immersed in everything that everybody else is doing, then you can do your own. You can walk your own way, and and be cool with that. And a lot of people are. Everybody's not following the same thing everybody else is doing.
I
There
know,
are
I
people out
know.
there who are doing their own thing, even young. So
I agree.
it is what it is.
I
But
mean, I married at 22, so
there you go.
first child 25. So I mean, yeah, I was, and then rejoined the dating pool in horror, terror, terrified because of this is the mindset. This is, people are not thinking about getting together for a foundation, to raise a family, to establish some roots, to build, a community, to be a pillar in some point of the community, to contribute back.
Maybe they consider their roots to be different, though. I mean, their roots are rooted in more things that maybe you
commercialized sex, right?
Commercialized sex,
or as they,
certain
what is
materials,
it, like,
or certain things. But
what is
their roots and your roots view obviously are not the same.
Well, of course. I mean,
and they're satisfied with what they're doing.
And I'm not, my thing is I don't have to judge that. I don't have to judge. I'm just bringing the conversation to the table because like you said, there are people who are doing their own thing, and because,
that's their pot, live in your pot.
And here's